Hello everybody, welcome to Palworld mod building. I am MoxxyMods, and today I'm going to be showing you how to use the rotated mod to create shutters, trapdoors, and a different style of doorway. So let's get started. As you see, I've got some examples here already. We're going to be using the defensive gate as a means to create shutters. The two I recommend the most are the metal gate and the wooden gate. The stone gate still looks good, but has a curve at the top which can be difficult to account for. Now, it doesn't make it useless, but it does make it less useful. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and using the same method you can use the defensive gates as standard size doors, which actually work really well with pathing because the doorways are larger than the standard foundation door blocks that we get. And I'm going to show you how to employ the same concept for trapdoors. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to put one right over here. We've got some blank space left. So we're going to press F4 to open our tool, F5 and then C to copy our glass walls information. And for our example, we're going to use the iron gate today. Let's make sure we get that real quick. There we go. Alright, so let's copy our walls information and make sure where it says CV copy/paste on the near the bottom of our rotated window. Make sure all of that scale, translate, and rotate information is copied. Let's grab our iron gate and paste that information. Now at single scale you can see defensive walls are much too big, but a general rule of thumb is half scale, or 0.5, will be a great jumping off point as far as size goes. So let's reduce this to 0.5. There you go. Now if you're using this as a door, half scale is almost exactly what you need. And I think we are going to use this window. As you can see there, we're going to need the bottom panel. And we don't want it to open inward, we want it to open out. So we'll go to rotate and use our shift and up 9-time trick to get a perfect 180-degree turn. Now our shutters will open out. Now we want our shutters to be where they make sense, where you can run up to the window and open them, and then with the shutters open you'll have a nice clear view of what you got outside, like this. And to do that, what we'll want to do, we'll make it a bit smaller, and then we're going to lift it up like this. Now you don't have to worry too much right away with its elevation, because you're going to be putting this wherever you want. I just recommend making sure that it clips nice and flush so that you aren't left with a lot of light gaps. So now we're going to grab our wall and we're going to reduce its height scale. See, that's going to be too much, and that is too little. So we can use Alt to step it down slowly. There we go. You see it sticks into the wall a little bit also on the sides. So we can go to our width scale like this. That's too much, that's too little. And we can use Alt to lower that to where it sits nice and flush, or visually however you like it. If you want it to look nice and neat, that's how we'll do it. There we go. Now you see that's still a little too high for me. So let's go to our wall. I think I'm going to lower that to exactly 3. let's lower our iron gate to where it's nice and flush. Like, here we go. There's a little bit of a gap there, and we'll go ahead and account for that. Now, we're going to raise this piece up and slowly walk it down to where it's nice and flush. Here we go. Now the window comes to about my elbow, so when you open it, it looks nice and natural. Now, you can use additional wall pieces and frame the entire window in, or make it smaller and put stuff on the side. So what we'll do is we're going to use our I key to push that out, and we're going to use our I key to push this out also, or J, because it is oriented the other way. Let's put a new wall down, and then we're going to walk that out a little bit, and one more wall, because we're going to need underneath the window and on both sides of the window. So we know that, I believe it was 0.34 is the scale that we had at the bottom here. As you can see, we can still fit through here. Let's double check. Alright, so we did 0.3 as our height. There we go. Now, let's move our window back into place. Now, if we wanted this as a smaller window, for example, we're going to do 0.26 as our example. Now we have gaps on the side, but we're going to use these other wall pieces to frame that in. All of the wall pieces were built on this grid, so we can, to get started, we can grab one of our wall pieces and then hit R to reset its position, like this. And we'll start manipulating the size. This looks like that's going to be a good thickness. So now we're going to use our L key to slide that over like this. You see, it's still a little bit of a gap there, but that's okay. What we'll do is we'll stretch the window a little bit to get that to fit perfectly. So that is 0.2 scale. Scrap our other wall, reset its information, reduce it down to 2. And then we'll use the J key to slide it into place. And again, there's a small gap. And because this is built on the same grid, these will even out on both sides together. So let's use Alt and increase our width. And it looks like one step was enough to get that to look properly. And we have these pieces sticking out of the side, so we can finitely, using Alt, change our thickness scale. We want it to, there we go, we want it to poke through. Let's make it a little bit wider. We want it to poke through. Doing too little, of course, it'll be inside the glass, but we want it to look like it's encompassing the glass, like this. There we go. And that's going to be just enough to get that framed in. Now, if you don't want these glass panels right here, of course, what you can do is raise this up and line up your bottom glass panel like this. And then you're going to reduce its height scale. And we're going to use Alt. There we go. So we got 0.66 height at 862 height. So what we'll do, so come back over here. Let's reduce this to 0.66. Or 862. There we go. And now we don't have overlapping glass panels here at the bottom, and our smaller shutters have been framed in. Now these are what the larger one looked like. It's going to be completely up to what your design is and what, you know, what shape and architectural detail type thing that you're going for. I really like these big large shutters, but this is how you would frame in smaller windows. And using that same method is how you would get these doors as well. Copy and paste it onto the wall, and then you can either move or delete the wall that you pasted to altogether, and then you're just going to slowly change the scale lower and higher until everything fits nice and flush, and you will get a custom door. These are really cool because, of course, sadly we don't actually get shutters, and because they are the defensive gates, they look really cohesive. Like, of course, the stone looks really good if you're building with the stone defensive wall because the textures match. This works really well if you're working with the metal defensive walls because they all match. And the same goes for the wood. Although the wood, I find, looks good with just about anything you put it with. And then here's our small window. Now when you're framing in this stuff, you can mix materials as well to break up your visual. But any way you would like to do this is exactly how I would recommend. This is just using rotated to introduce the idea of shutters. And if you want them to open the opposite direction, again, what you're going to do is you're going to lock on to the piece that you would like to open. Say we want those to come inward instead of out. We go to our rotate on the far right here, and we're going to use shift and up 9 times to get a perfect 180 degree turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And now our shutters will open inside as opposed to out. Now you can get all kinds of visual effects from this, depending on how you put these down and how you want to shape them. You can make it look good inside, you can make it look good outside, completely up to you. Now using this same exact concept and the idea of the wide door that opens like this, you can lay the door down flat like this. As you can see, I have this on a negative 90, which is a perfect 90 degree angle. So really all they did was scale it and push it over flat. And we still get our same security and open options, and it works exactly how you would like it to. You're standing on it, you press F, you'll fall through it, pals will fall through it, raid stuff will fall through it. You can put fire down here and create a fire pit trap, or just as an example, you can create a basement, secret entrance basement. Maybe you put all of your most expensive stuff down here. Perhaps you play on a server with other people and you want to hide your stuff away. This is a fantastic way to do it. This is really just here as an example though. This works with all of them, and of course it works while you're riding a PAL as well. You want to give yourself enough height clearance, but this is really just as an example. I like to use this in air bases so that I have a way for myself to drop out and get back in that's unique to myself. So you just put this at the very bottom of your base and you've got a secret entrance in and out of your base. And of course you can land on it. There we go. And that is the basic concept of shutters, different style doors, and trapdoors. Now these also, if you wanted to have these open the other direction, you're going to do shift and up. 1, 2, no. As a matter of fact, make sure you do your turn before you push this over. Once items hit a 90 degree angle, the turning axis change. So what you would want to do is, if you wanted to make this a trapdoor, we're going to be using our reset key here. So as you can see, when you open, these open up. And if I want to drop this down, we're going to drop this down 90. And now it'll open upward as as opposed to down. But now if I was trying to rotate it, it won't rotate the way we would like it to anymore because all the axes have changed. So what you'll want to do then, if you want it to open the opposite direction, you're going to reset 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then you're going to drop it back and it'll open down. So visually it's completely up to you if you want to do up or down, but you're just going to have to turn the piece before it hits that 90-degree angle. And if you've already got it on a 90-degree angle, just hit reset, which will put it back exactly where it was originally built. Here you go. And this is the basic concept of a trapdoor. It works really, really well. Like I said, I have tested this with raid mobs, wild mobs, things like that. If they're coming at you when you open this, they definitely fall through. And if you line it with campfires and stuff like that, or a pal on a turret, they're basically stuck in a hallway and they get creamed. So it's a really, really good defensive mechanic as well as visually. And the collision on these walls, or these shutters, is really good because you can pop them open, you know, take your shot or do whatever you're doing, and then close them back up quickly if you need to do that. Especially if you're in a low-level place like this, you can pop it open, do what you gotta do, close it up. Now, the wooden shutters look the best with everything, but as you can see, matching the shutter to the door or to the material itself looks pretty nice because it's got these detail elements on both, so you get just a little more matchy cohesion than you would otherwise. And that, my friends, is how you make shutters, extra doors, and trapdoors. I really appreciate you joining me today. God bless you guys, and I will catch you guys in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.